Hey everyone, Daniel here with HRT Tactical Gear. I want to show you kind of a walkthrough and a description of our AWLS Weapon Light series and give you kind of an overview of all the products and let you know what's going to happen with all of them, specs, things like that. And we'll really get into some of the actual uses of some of these as well. So let's discuss what AWLS actually means when it comes to these lights. So AWLS stands for Advanced Weapon Light System, which means that all of these components are compatible with each other. You don't have one type that doesn't work with another and one type that doesn't work with the others. They all work together in a system, and they also work on other things that are on the market. So that's the core of the system. We want to make sure that it's all adaptive and modular around for the user, as well as so we don't have confusing products and such. So the heart of our AWLS system is going to be our PSF Mark III and our PSF Mark VI heads. And I'm sure you're thinking, great, more acronyms, what does PSF stand for? And it's simply Parvis Sed Fortis, which is a Latin phrase meaning small but mighty. So kind of a goofy name we threw in there just for these light heads. So you have the PSF Mark III and the PSF Mark VI. We originally came out with the PSF Mark VI head. So this was our 90,000 candela and 1700 lumens option. And it was received very well. It did excellent. I would say it blows anything else out of the water, especially at its price point. But we had a lot of requests for, hey, I don't want to spend $200 for a light head, but I really still want to have the nice performance, or I want to get something from you guys. And so we came out with the Mark III head. So the Mark III head is 1600 lumens and 58,000 candela. So the candela is a little bit reduced. The lumens are slightly reduced, but you still have an excellent head on there as well. So if you're looking for something that might be a little bit more budget friendly, but still have a higher output than maybe one of the M300s or something like that, this is going to be a better option for you. And it's going to cut the price of the entire package down significantly as well. So this head does not have, you can see the user serviceable lens that the Mark VI has. So if you were to have your lens shot out by Sims or something on the Mark VI, you can just give us a call and send this back. We'll replace that lens for you. On the Mark III, just to kind of save some of the cost, we did not do that lens system on there, so this is fixed in there. But excellent performance out of both heads, great runtime on both of them. This really can allow to fit any budget with either of our weapon light systems or upgrading a system you might already have. When we first came out with the system, you would have already seen it in the M-Lock variant that's pictured here. And I'll kind of give a rundown of these. So the short body uses the little 18350 size battery here, and our long body uses the 18650 batteries there. So you can run the head with either type of battery, and you can also run these with two CR123 batteries, but this is going to be what they come with, and we do advise using those higher powered batteries. They have more output, and they have more ability to give you the full benefit of your lights. Now at its core, the reason we went with this design here with the M-Lock mount in the center and the same threads on both sides allows you to adjust the weapon to being a right-handed shooter or left-handed shooter or wherever you may want to mount it on the rifle, just based on unscrewing these threads instead of having to add another mount on there. So to demonstrate, if I had this mount on a rifle and it was on the right-hand side of the rail, but I wanted to change it to the left side, that's now going to invert the mount here. So by unscrewing the back here and swapping it to the front, unscrewing the front and swapping it to the back, we now change the orientation of this light. You obviously want to swap the battery around in here as well when you do that, otherwise it won't work. So now as you can see, I have changed the direction this light sits on the mount. So now you can put this on the left side of the rifle and you can utilize it as you would like normal. So you'll see here that we have mounted on here the right-hand configuration of a Mark VI head on the AWLS. And the intent of the ODA here at the back allows a user to separate a white light switch from an infrared switch, or if you have limited rail space and maybe you want to put your laser up here or some iron sights and you don't want to put your light in a way that's going to block that, you can utilize this off to the side. To activate the ODA here, all you have to do is press this switch in any different direction, and you'll get the light on there. And if you press the switch in until it clicks, you'll get your constant on. So this allows for a rather intuitive system because you can just press down and get your light and let go when you don't want your light. Similar to pressing a button, but you have a little bit more options. You can come from the bottom and press it, over the top, and so on. If for some reason you just want to run this as a click cap, the entire ODA assembly can be unthreaded off the back and reveal a push button underneath this. You can still get momentary, but you kind of have to find that sweet spot for it. This is going to be more for people who just want to click on and click off when they're using the rifle. Here on the back of the ODA, we also have some sensitivity discs. So if you remove this center screw, your light will ship to you with multiple different sensitivity discs. You can remove those and change them out. The more pluses it has, the more sensitive. The more minuses it has, the more sensitive. You can then change this out to your specific configuration, how light you want it to be, and then thread this back into the rear of the rifle. This will allow you to, maybe you're really concerned about white light NDs and you don't want to bump this and turn it on, you can make yours more difficult to turn on. And if you want to make yours more reactive to you, you can make it more sensitive. We found that the middle configuration that they will ship in is pretty resilient to getting bumped and things like that. This light isn't turning on. But if I press it all the way, then I get my light. But I still have some brief ability to tap this switch and not have power. If you want to lock out the rifle so it can't turn on, all you have to do is rotate either this or the head for the quarter turn, and then the switch will no longer have activation. Now let's say you want to mount this onto a rifle with some type of laser system. We've got you covered on that as well. As you can see here, I do have the AWLS Mark 6 mounted with a D-ball up on top. I still have my iron sights on there as well. This allows you to operate your switch and still be able to get to your laser just over the top. And I'm not really blocked in the way. This is one of the reasons why I like running the 18650 sized bodies, because I do have a little bit more forward head projection and I do have the ability to reach my switch a little bit easier than if I was to use one of the Mark 3s. It'd be a little bit shorter down here. I'd still be able to reach the switch, but I would have more shadow from my barrel. So this is one of the reasons that I like that unit. But this pairs up nicely here. You do have all of those tucked nice together, makes for a very low profile setup. Doesn't really get in the way of anything else I might have on here. Now you might say, that's great. I really like your head. I like the performance. It blows away whatever I've already got. But maybe I want to mount it to some type of pressure pad instead of using the ODA. Well, since the system is very adaptable, we have made the same thread pitch as all of your industry standard dual fuel style switches and mounts. So you can pair our AWLS head onto any of your body choosing. It just has to be one of the dual fuel bodies. So like Arasakas or Modlite. You will find Arasakas on our website. So if this is something you're interested in doing yourself, you can just snag the head, snag the body, and hook it up to whatever tail switch you might have. In this case, we have another D-ball mounted to our light set up on one of these dual lead switches. So this allows me to run it on a maybe a more standard configuration. Maybe I have more rail space or something, or I want to just access this switch in a different manner. Be a good application for that. So now we've shown the rifle-mounted versions of the Mark III and the Mark VI heads. The Mark III are exactly identical, just with the lower performance. The mounts and the head and the tail caps are exactly the same. All of them have a 10 amp switch in the back, so you get the full power of your light. If you want to pocket carry your AWLS, or maybe put it in a pouch, more of a duty focus, not have it on a rifle, we do have both the Mark III and the Mark VI head options available as the short 18350 bodies and the long 18650 bodies. If you get the long body, it will come with the Theorem switchback. If you get the short one, it'll come with these clips here. And this will just allow you to put this in a pocket, pouch, use it for duty use, and so on. So this is kind of a more, the next step after we came up with these. We had a lot of requests to make a handheld unit, and so we brought forth this option as well. And you can see we have these with the 3 and the 6. Now would be a good time to talk about the batteries as well. We do have obviously the 18350 battery and the 18650 battery for both of our units here. If you're going to run one of the 350 batteries, you're going to get around 40-minute runtime. If you use the 18650 battery, you're going to get about 110-minute runtime. I generally push people towards 18650 unless weight savings are a really important thing. Just, you get the extra runtime and a little bit further mounted head. Now, these are 3,500 milliamps, and that's more than enough to power these lights. Gives you the really good output there. If you do want to run the two CR123s, you have to run two, not one. You're going to get much decreased output just because they can't keep up. So we really advise using either ours or any other type of these style batteries. And in keeping with the trend of supplying all the products you might need, we do have the batteries on our website. So they'll ship to you with one battery and a charger, but we will also be happy to get you set up with extra batteries. You always need more of those. And these also come with a little plastic carrying case on the inside. So once you charge them, throw them in that case. You can throw them in any of your gear so you can get to those later. So we carry the batteries. We obviously have some nice boxes for you as well. So if you do order one of the AWLSs from us, you will get this little nice fancy box. Has all of your information on the outside, and it will come with your battery, the actual mount, and then your charging cable for all that. And if you're looking to use this with some other type of body, we do have the air socket bodies on our website. We have both the 1913 and the M-LOK mounts available, so you can get yourself hooked up with those too if you maybe are looking in that direction. So this has been our overview of the AWLS series. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to walk you through maybe mounting or what would work for your setup. We always like getting people set up with products that will work for them and not have to do the whole buy 3 things, keep 1, sell the other 2, that kind of stuff. We just like to have you set up right out the door, all the products you might need. So reach out to us at HRT tacticalgear.com. Check out some of these offerings on our website, and thank you for watching the video.